An honest dream match for any era, and you made it happen. That's the power of Showcase. I've said it repeatedly that it's impossible for me to predict a hypothetical scenario with precision, but I have to believe that if I was here in 2019, I would have done anything to get to the front of the line to be Kurt Angle's final opponent at WrestleMania 35.
He has held every title imaginable. European champion, Intercontinental champion, 6-time world champion.
Not many people know this, but when I first joined the ECW brand in 2006, Kurt Angle was my goal. He'd found new life with the brand, leaning into the extreme side of things, mauling his opponents with a reinvigorated approach to the ground and pound offense. But those dreams would go unrealized with Kurt leaving WWE only about a month after my arrival. I could see it all in my head, though. Kurt comes out on Raw to announce that he'll be retiring at WrestleMania. With the crowd already shocked, Kurt goes to announce his opponent, only I wouldn't give him that chance. See, I really don't care who Kurt's chosen, because as I'd say to Kurt's face, I've chosen Kurt to be my opponent at WrestleMania 35. If Kurt wins, he gets to go out on top. But when I get the win, Kurt at least had the chance to go out on a shield against an opponent willing to push him to his limits. Kurt's retirement will happen one way or another, but it's up to you to decide who will be standing at the top of the winner's podium and who will have to settle for a silver medal when I collide with Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 35.
The man looking to end the career of Kurt Angle with a loss tonight, CM Punk.
The following is Kurt Angle's farewell match and is a submission match. From Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 218 pounds, CM Punk.
Punk has gladly accepted the opportunity to ruin Kurt's last night on the grandest stage of them all. The only gold medalist in WWE history. The wrestling machine, Kurt Angle.
Competing in his final match after a 20-year Hall of Fame career, the only gold medalist in WWE history, Kurt Angle!
At long last, Kurt Angle and CM Punk face off inside a WWE ring. And on the biggest stage here at WrestleMania, Kurt Angle is set to retire tonight. And CM Punk jumped at the chance to be the one to send him off into the sunset.
Look, I know Punk respects Angle, but this could also be a career-defining moment for Punk. Can the best in the world put the Olympic gold medalist on the shelf for good in a submission match?
We'll find out right here. CM Punk said he loves Kurt, but he'll not be sorry to put Kurt Angle down for good. Wow, he reversed Angle. CM Punk has been talking out of both sides of his mouth lately, praising Angle while also saying how much of a joy it would be to put him down. What kind of mind games were those?
It's a stroke of genius in my view, Cole, as much as you...
From the top, Angle switches it up.
Solid bit of defense on his part there.
Any advice for CM Punk here? Taking on a gifted technician like Kurt Angle?
Look, Punk's no slouch when it comes to holds and technical abilities, but let's be clear, he's not on Angle's level. That means Punk really needs to avoid getting taken down to the mat.
Incoming!
Wow! Cross body! Triangle armbar! Triangle! And he decides to let his opponent out of the hold.
Might have felt like he was losing a grip and didn't want the opposition to counter out of the submission. Man, well-placed calf kick.
And Wade, long ago, there was an opportunity for these two men to have locked up, but the stars just never aligned.
That's correct. ECW is what you're talking about, Cole. A mid-2000s rebranding.
From the top, double axe handle connects.
And into the corner he goes.
Punk, knee in the corner, follows it up with a short arm clothesline.
Big knee to the midsection. Kurt Angle in need of a reprieve.
Punk is managing to out-wrestle Kurt freaking Angle.
He counters with a great reversal.
I talked to Punk earlier today, and he said he fully expects Angle to be a step quicker than he's been recently. A little more intense. The Kurt Angle of old.
Fitting American sports analogy here for an American hero. You gents, correct me if I'm wrong, is like a legendary baseball player taking his final swings at the plate. He may not have much left, but he still may hit a home run.
Very true, Wade. You said that correctly. I'm very proud of the American that you've become.
And for Kurt Angle, you can't remain as great as you once were, but you can be great one more time. The best in the world is looking to put a legend out to pasture.
Adjusting their opponent against the turnbuckle. Stacked with that bulldog.
And again, stipulation for this match is the submission match.
And Punk now lifting his opponent up and back down with a GTS. Is it enough for Punk? Repeated knees to the hamstring.
Overwhelming offense now from Punk.
Angle's having trouble dealing with the best in the world.
Oof, running knee in the corner.
CM Punk now connects with a Uranagi and textbook CM Punk Anaconda vice grip.
A couple of knees there. That'll get him out of it. What a reversal. Despite what has transpired leading to tonight, there's a level of respect that CM Punk has for Kurt Angle. Punk might even have love for Angle, but Punk will not be sorry about beating Kurt in his final match.
There's all this talk about the storybook ending, the beautiful button on the career for Kurt Angle, a big win at WrestleMania. Think of what this would...
And here we go. Locked in. It's locked in. And here we go. Locked in. Crossover again. Just wrenching away the arm with his hold.
Still trying to escape, but this will make couldn't take it anymore. Has to tap.
Here is your winner, CM Punk!
This was one to remember, and certainly a victory CM Punk will never forget, forcing Kurt Angle to tap out to end his career with a loss here at the showcase of the Immortals.
A fitting end to an incredible career. Kurt leaves here a warrior who can hold his head high with pride. Angle gave so much to this industry, and we thank him for all he's done.
Maybe it's only in an alternative timeline, but I'll take the advantage of any opportunity to share the ring with Kurt Angle, win or lose. And as far as what happens if I stay in WWE, there's one more match I'll always wish for. Working with him, even if it was only briefly when he joined the new Nexus, made it abundantly clear to me that he would accomplish anything if he ever committed himself to it. A return to NXT gave him that chance, and soon Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family were the talk of the wrestling world. They arrived on the main roster, terrorizing any superstar that got in their way.
And Bray Wyatt calmly watches as his family members dismantle Punk.
That included me. And while I have a match at the 2013 Survivor Series that on paper says was against the Wyatt family, it didn't have Bray Wyatt in it. I never got to compete against him once he realized his potential. I would have loved to have The Fiend set his sights on me. The Fiend took wrestling places it had never been before by taking his opponents places they had never been before. If I had my way, I'd take on The Fiend at WrestleMania 37. And I'd look for solace in the one place that I know to be the great equalizer: Hell in a Cell. He was once in a lifetime. I'm thankful for the time we did have together. But until we meet again, we'll make it happen here in my showcase. CM Punk against The Fiend at WrestleMania. You can choose who you'll control. But once that door closes, there's no telling what will happen.
It all comes down to this: Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. A demonic structure built with thousands of square feet of cold steel chain link. And tonight, it will be the battleground for CM Punk and The Fiend.
Being a WWE superstar, you find yourself in a lot of dangerous situations. But right now, I don't think anyone is in a more dangerous situation than CM Punk.
From Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 218 pounds, CM Punk!
For the first time ever, guys, CM Punk will enter. And here he comes, The Fiend, begging for you to let him in. Tonight he looks to drag CM Punk deep into the darkness inside Hell in a Cell.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. You don't fight The Fiend, you survive him. Every opponent that has ever crossed paths with The Fiend has been changed forever.
Just look at those eyes, or whatever is hiding behind that mask. There's just pure evil.
This has never been about winning or losing for The Fiend. This has always been about destruction. And tonight, his evil gaze is locked on CM Punk.
Or you can prepare for a wrestler. You can prepare for a fight. You cannot prepare for The Fiend. This being doesn't wrestle with logic. He doesn't wrestle with reason. He wrestles out of pure malice.
Not flinching at the steel structure, not blinking at the tens of thousands here in attendance. To The Fiend, this isn't a punishment. This is his paradise. CM Punk is about to be locked inside the devil's playground with the devil incarnate.
You can hit The Fiend with everything you got, and he'll just keep getting back up. He feeds off the pain, and for as good as Punk is, he may find himself a broken man before he even realizes what's hit him.
I can't imagine what's going through Punk's mind right now. Not only taking on the Fiend, but he goes for the quick pin attempt. He manages to make it barely a 1 count. Too soon. Wards that off. What a response.
CM Punk and The Fiend facing off against each other at the event that brings out the best in each man. WrestleMania.
You speak the truth, Corey Graves. Every time Punk comes down that ramp at WrestleMania, his next level competitiveness hits an all-time high. That's why we've seen him have all-time WrestleMania classics against the likes of Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and The Undertaker. But as for The Fiend, I need only remind you of what happened last year at WrestleMania. The Fiend lured John Cena into the Firefly Funhouse match and destroyed the franchise both physically and mentally.
And since then, John Cena has not been seen in a WWE ring. Gotta wonder if CM Punk will suffer the same fate should The Fiend get his way tonight. CM Punk locked inside Hell in a Cell with The Fiend on the grandest stage of them all. This has to be such an uneasy feeling for Punk right now. He's usually trying to outthink his opponents.
Yeah, but how in the world do you outthink something that doesn't even think like a human? I think Punk's going to have to rely on his speed and technical abilities here if he even wants to remotely have a chance at beating The Fiend.
Well, according to my notes, CM Punk has in-ring experience against Bray Wyatt, but in reality, he's never seen this side of Bray.
Something else to note is that Punk's previous matches with Bray were tag team contests that included the rest of the Wyatt family.
Wow, so Punk's first ever singles match with Bray Wyatt is against The Fiend? I rarely bet against the best in the world, but this...
What on earth? His body just broke through the cell wall.
You'd think getting out of the cell would be a good thing for him, but not when you do it that way.
Wow.
Oh.
Big forearm.
Avoided any damage there.
He's making his way up this hellish structure.
I can't imagine actively wanting to climb up the cell, but that's why I'm sitting here and thankfully not partaking in this sanctioned brutality right now. He made the climb all the way to the top of the cell. What he does next could have major repercussions on the rest of his career.
Hopefully he reconsiders all this and climbs back down.
Something that should not get lost in all of this chaos. Before he was The Fiend, before he was Bray Wyatt, the man under that mask was actually a follower of CM Punk.
Yeah, shortly before Bray Wyatt found his way, he was part of CM Punk's new nexus under a different name. You have to wonder if whatever's left of Bray's psyche under that mask still has some...
Oh, he's shoving it down his throat.
The claw! This one's over. The Fiend can seal it here.
What's The Fiend contriving here?
Oh, a massive Uranagi there.
As this battle rages on top of the cell, you wonder how this all ends.
I'm afraid badly is the only answer. Nothing good can come from this situation. Oh, kick directly to the breadbasket.
This entire building's on their feet witnessing these lunatics fight 25 feet in the air.
Uh-oh, got the knees up just in time.
Both of these men have made careers by changing with the times. Punk has gone from indie darling to extremist to straight-edge cult leader.
It's a very, very risky height. From the top of the cell, my God! Oh, no!
Punk sidesteps out of that. They just took that risk for seemingly no other reason than their own hubris. Now they have to pay the price.
Sister Abigail!
I don't know how Punk can recover from that. The Fiend may have victory in his twisted sights. Oh!
I don't know if Punk can withstand much more of this.
The Fiend is just teeing off on Punk right now. Does he even know what he's doing? Does he know how close he is to flirting with disaster?
And hopefully you're not expecting anything akin to safety when you start climbing the cell. Made it to the top of the cell. Hope he has some sort of master strategy here. If not, he's only put himself in debt.
Bray Wyatt locks in the claw. This is agonizing. The Fiend stops his opponents dead in their tracks.
Will that close Punk out?
This has been an absolutely brutal match inside Hell in a Cell. I knew the Fiend and CM Punk were going to go to war here, but even for WrestleMania, this match has gone above and beyond.
Quick evasion from him there.
Here we go.
Inverted DDT. Lights out, right onto the punishing steel structure. It doesn't get any more brutal.
Ooh, great anticipation.
This will be back for him.
Oh, clothesline.
Connecting with the crossbody.
Everyone is off their seats as they continue to battle atop the cell. And an elbow.
Clothesline! Off with their head. Gentlemen, we've reached the final pits of hell. It's time to see who will survive and who will succumb to its eternal fire. And that hurt.
Showing no concern for safety or common sense. Just going to war on top of the cell that was meant to contain them. He has hold of Punk. Slammed down with the Uranagi.
All hell is broken loose on top of the cell. This is only going to get worse before it gets better. Hold on here. Punk getting put into a submission. Battling against the hole. Punk in a bad spot here. Can he? Yes, he's free.
Punk now locks in that double under.
Trying for the double underarm hook. Oh my Lord! He just crashed through the top of the cell.
A devastating fall ending in a brutal collision. He paid the price for climbing that cell.
He could be regretting that decision for months. There's long-term damage being done tonight.
The carnage we've witnessed here at WrestleMania is going down in the history books. The Fiend and Punk have been unloading their arsenals, and neither one of them is showing any signs of relenting and shifting over for the cover.
The Fiend wins it.
Here is your winner, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
We may be witnessing the end of days here. The Fiend's power is only growing now that he's added CM Punk to his list of victims.
Remember this moment, gentlemen. I think we just witnessed a landmark moment for the entire WWE.
I feel bad for Punk coming up short, but what on earth does this mean for the rest of us?